Guys, I just ran into this woman on YouTube who's totally blowing it up. I saw her first video on YouTube probably 4 days ago, and her name is Thewizardliz. Check it out.
You go there consistently, and you make sure that you get good at it, because that's how you become confident in what you're doing, and that's how you become confident in yourself. How can you trust yourself if you keep promising yourself things and you don't come true?
The first time I looked, I was like, I'm not her audience. I don't really care. But as someone who studies YouTube videos that work and trying to figure out, well, what works well on YouTube and what doesn't work so well, I was immediately attracted to the fact that she's blowing up. A lot of people are paying attention to her, and she's got a huge growing audience. And then the second time I watched her video, all of a sudden I started to get the message, and it resonated with me, and I actually am pretty inspired this week just from watching a number of her videos.
Really look at yourself and think, okay, in what ways do I sabotage myself even when I have a healthy relationship, right? So then I was like, whoa, this is really hard for me to accept someone that does not hurt me. But then I could really look at myself and I could realize, whoa, I am sabotaging myself so much because somebody is willing to give me love, respect, and I am like, no, hurt me in some way, you know? So I really had to work on that.
And so I'll go over what I think are like the 7 top key takeaways from me watching her videos, what I got out of it and what you could get out of it and what we could learn just by studying her and what she does. And the very first thing I'm going to say is her message is confidence, confidence, confidence. Her audience, I guess, is mostly younger women, maybe girls from 13 on up to women through 40s and then to their 50s. Maybe a lot of her key audience is all about trying to build confidence for themselves, trying to step out bigger in the world. And she's a messenger and a coach and a mentor and a friend on these videos to someone who's looking to build their confidence and step it up in the world and step out in a big way. So I've really enjoyed her message, which runs through her entire channel, all her videos. The number one dominant theme is confidence, confidence, confidence. And then number 2, I really love what she's talking about with self-esteem. She talks a lot about her own journey. She's talking a lot about her own life. And her message and her story about her own life is one of having gone through a rough childhood, carrying a lot of deep emotional childhood baggage, and working her way through that, and slowly but surely building up a reservoir of self-esteem within her, upping the level of what's acceptable to her in her life in terms of who she hangs out with, what she thinks is okay for her, and what she expects from her life going forward. And so it's this high bar of self-esteem that's probably the main thing that I've personally resonated with, because that's a topic I'm working with. That's a topic I hope to teach in future YouTube videos myself. And so her clear-cut, really well-articulated message of self-esteem, you got to see it to understand what she's got. Beautiful. And then number 3, what she's really offering is authentic. And authentic's like this rare commodity these days. If you go on YouTube, and I spend a lot of time on YouTube, and there's a lot of stuff that's slick, commercial, year by year, increasingly, YouTube becomes a professional, commercial kind of place. But the original intent of YouTube was to build a community where people could just hang out and be themselves on video, and I still really think that's a key component of what, not only what YouTube has offered and what it will offer in the future. And so for anyone who can just stand in front of a camera and try to be them, not even try, but just let it all hang out and be their raw, authentic self, that's a rare, valuable commodity. And if you watch her videos on her channel, they're not well edited, they're not slick, she doesn't have a slick set, she probably has a cheap camera or maybe her iPhone, and that's it. She's just shooting the video, talking from her heart and telling it straight. And so it's her authenticity that I think is one of her great powers. And probably number 4 is she knows her audience. She knows that who she wants to get her message to is women, young women, possibly girls, who are trying to step into adulthood, women who are already in adulthood trying to step up their game. And so she knows that's who she is and who she's delivering her message to. And so I'm empowered by her just kind of being connected with the people she wants to talk to. And I don't know the extent of her community or community involvement, but I can tell that, from the first time I clicked on that first video, it's like, well, I'm not her audience, but I'm pretty sure who is, and it's younger women trying to up their game. Number 5, what I'll say about her is you've just watched a number of her videos. What she's able to do is transmit power. She's cleared away enough of her own emotional baggage, the trauma just from being born into this crazy world, and we've all got parents and families who've got their own emotional histories. And if you can work your way into adulthood and own your own emotional trauma, your own spiritual trauma, whatever, and come to grips with that and do your own work, then what that allows you to do is get out of your own way. And what that allows you to do is to be a channel for something bigger than yourself. And really, that's one of the things I love about her videos also, Thewizardliz, is that she's transmitting power because of the fact that she's gotten herself out of the way. And I would say that's her number 6, the number 6 key takeaway from me, and the thing I really like about her and her videos are she's done the personal work. She's talking from experience. She's not just someone who's got some nice philosophical theories, but she's someone who's probably works with a therapist regularly. She's someone who's owned her own shadow. She's someone who's aware of her own emotional childhood trauma and the baggage that she carries into life now. And she's facing it. She's dealing with it. She's speaking about it publicly. And she's leading the way for other people to do the same. So that's number 6. And you have to admit that number 7, one of the reasons why she's successful on YouTube is she is beautiful. She's physically beautiful, obviously, but she has an inner beauty, and that inner beauty comes forth in her videos as well. And again, I'm going to go back to has done her own personal work. I'm going to go back to self-esteem. Let's go back to confidence. And that's what I mean by radiates inner beauty. It's like to the extent that any of us can own our own demons, own our own dark side, go head to head with it, face to face with it every day, and then just get out of the way of ourselves and allow something more powerful to come through. That power is going to be all about confidence, self-esteem, and speaking from a higher mind, speaking from source, being a voice for source. And so if you've watched any of my videos and what I'm up to, obviously I'm liking a lot what I saw on her channel. It was a lot of fun to cross paths with her videos this week. And so hats off to Thewizardliz.